pockets of resistance all around the planet. We've been fighting a long time. If you're listening to this, you are not alone. You are the resistance.
Hey, what's going on, family? Hope everybody's doing well. Doing all right myself. But obviously I'm coming on here because I need to talk to y'all as usual. So guys, if you don't know right by now, yes, I'm banned currently on my other channel. Okay, so this is why I encourage everybody to get on this channel, to have both channels, because when I'm banned there, then I can't talk to y'all. Some people figured it out. Some people just keep doing the same stuff. It just doesn't make sense to me, right? So if you don't have the Rumble, guys, there's no reason I should have all these subscribers on YouTube, but I don't have but maybe a fraction that on Rumble. We need everybody to start migrating onto other platforms, man, so you can avoid this type of stuff that they doing. Okay, censoring the important information that you guys should be knowing, right? So anywho, I wanted to hit on something, man, today, because man, like, the reason I got the strike and I'm banned right now on the other channels because they said I gave medical misinformation. And what I did basically was to show you the doctors that's showing you what they finding in people that took the walk. But that's medical misinformation. It's not, it's actually accurate information. The real misinformation, guys, is the BS that they saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, safe and effective. Guys, have you seen anything about this that is safe and effective at this point? I don't know about y'all, but I could beg to differ. There's an argument to be made there, but that's the problem. How can you try to push a narrative or agenda and not allow arguments from both sides of the aisle? Okay, especially if there is adequate information to support the claims that safe and effective is actually misinformation. Okay, it can't, guys. It can't be safe and effective if people are dead. That's not safe and effective, right? So for them to say it's safe and effective and people are dead, that is misinformation. Okay, and if somebody points this stuff out, then they're considered a medical misinformation or disinformation, which is the opposite, right? So we understand who's who out here and what they up to. But what I wanted to point out, which I found significant, man, and this is the thing, like, once you wake up, man, and you actually privy to the information that's coming out, and and like you can really assess things or what's going on, like, everything starts to make sense. Like, you dissecting this stuff with a fine-tooth comb, and these other folks out here, they just going with the flow, walking themselves right into the mess that's constantly occurring. And if they haven't woke up yet from some of the stuff that has occurred, and it hasn't become apparent now, then guys, it's not going to happen. Like, it's not going to happen. For, like I told some people, man, some people you just have to give up on it just ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. But a couple things, man, I posted it in the Telegram. So if you ain't in Telegram, guys, make sure you get in the Telegram. We're gonna keep this YF friendly, you know what I mean? So y'all will be watching this on YouTube. But I just wanted to go back and rehash some things that I put in Telegram, because I know everybody's not on Telegram. Is what, 4,500 subs over here on this channel, and then it's 51,000 something over on the other channel, and it's only 1,000 people in the Telegram. Okay, so 1,000 people get information on a regular basis if I'm not putting it out there. You know, and then there's 1,000 of you that's sharing information. So that's the real truth community right there. If you're not taking part in that, guys, you're missing out. Make sure you get into that Telegram, man. I'm gonna have the Telegram link in the description box. Okay, my Twitter in the description box. My Rumble is in the description box. My Truth Social in the description box, guys. I put all that in there for you guys so you can keep up with what's going on. All right. So I just wanted to point out real quick couple things that they got going on in here. All right. Let's see. So if you haven't noticed, guys, there's been quite a few people that had taken the walk, and they're leaving out of here, guys, in record time. The deaths amongst the kids that have taken a walk, they saying right now that it is actually 44% higher than the 5-year average. Okay, since the implementing of the actual walk. So that's for kids, man. So we talk a lot about the sterilization part, right? And we talk about infertility and things like that for people that take the walk. And what we've come to grips with, yes, there's going to be some of that going on. But what we haven't come to grips with is, yeah, they actually knocking some kids off though too. It's not just sterilization. It's not just infertility. They actually knocking kids off. And I don't know, like we talked about the lot numbers before. There were certain lot numbers that do certain things, man. And you have to think, if it's 3 lots, okay, let's just do the math. If it's 3 lots, that's what we were advised about early on. There was 3 lots, okay. One was going to be basically the kill switch, right? The other was going to have some type of effect where you could get cancer and things like that. Well, we don't really know. One was a saline. It was like no effect, right? It was supposed to be a placebo. What we don't know though, guys, is how they're implementing this. We talk about the nanos and things like this, and them being able to release Marburg and the 1P, 3P gene deletion. We don't know if that's been incorporated in all of it. You see what I'm saying? Like, you really playing Russian roulette. We know that the sterilization, infertility was a big thing, and that's probably going to be a part of all of it. I put the pieces in from Utopia, the show Utopia. If you haven't watched that, I suggest you go watch it. If you haven't watched my last couple videos, go watch them. I incorporated Utopia in there a lot, and it goes over and it rehashes what they're basically doing, what the ultimate plan was. Which they were saying 90% of the population would be sterile, okay? And then after 20 years, it would resume back to normal breeding or something like that. So 90%, that's 90% of the people that actually survive, okay, that aren't actually put down, okay? So, and I go back to Phil Snyder and I go back to Bill Cooper. They said that it was supposed to be 5/6 of the population. Okay, 5/6 of the population would get the serious poison, right? And then the other 10% would be enslaved. Okay, that's why you're hearing a lot about the nanos in control of your mind and things like that. We don't know exactly how they was going to incorporate it, whether it was going to come through the actual walk or if it would come through the test. You see what I'm saying? Like, they could have got everybody plugged in through the test as far as the enslavement and control. And then the walk would be incorporating, the mass wipeout. All right? That makes sense. So I believe we might be tinkering around with one or the other. But either way, you probably, if you took the walk, you're going to be dealing with something. I don't know how long you got. It's not for me to decide. But we find this stuff now, and that's why I wanted to come on here and hit on it real quick. So I put a clip up, and I might try to flash some things on the screen. I just don't know how much we can do, get away with, and stay, wire friendly. Or YT friendly rather. But they're saying right now, guys, that sudden cardiac death is up 80% for athletes who died suddenly that had no symptoms or family history of heart disease. They saying it's up 80%. 80%, guys. That is insane. What's key about this? What we saw last year, and guys, this is going to amplify. Keep on telling you, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse because until it becomes unbearable and it's unable to be hidden. Okay, right now it's still able to be hidden. Like the sheep, they can't put this stuff together. Like they can't process this information. They can't understand what's going on. Like they still lost. Like it has not hit them, and it may not hit most of them until they gone up out of here. But last year, when this stuff first hit, they was canceling flights. Guys, they are canceling flights by the thousands once again this year, and they're actually saying yes, we have a pilot shortage. But they're not telling you what the pilot shortage is doing. Then they saying weather and stuff like that. Weather be just like this. It'd be just like this, guys. It'd be sunny. It'd be a nice day. They talking about they don't have pilots. Okay? Look, I told y'all early on, the altitude is having an effect on people. Okay? The altitude, if you took the walk, the altitude will have an effect on you. If you're flying, if you're a frequent flyer, you got frequent flyer miles and all that, dude, you need to watch your frequent flyer miles like you watching your heart rate. Now, you see what I'm saying? You need to watch your heart rate like you watching your frequent flyer miles. You need to be checking and seeing, hey, am I feeling a little different every time I'm flying? Because that is helping to build up those clots and build up the coagulation, guys, of the blood that's helping to form these clots. Okay, it's something about being in high altitude, guys. There's a study, like I'm not a scientist, but I assure you that I know what I'm talking about this. Okay, that is causing the blood. I don't know if you get to a certain point, it causes the blood to get more dense or whatever, but it helps to expedite that process. Okay, the same thing with the athletes. I told y'all, with the athletes, you got to understand, guys, and it's going to happen with the other people. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to realize. As you go through life, okay, if your blood is pumping and pumping and pumping and pumping and pumping, okay, constant, it's kind of like a car engine. That oil is going through a filtration system. It's going through your heart, it's going through your veins and your arteries and everything, and it's going through, and it's being cleansed. Basically, it's supposed to be cleansed, but if it keeps going through the filtration system of the body, it starts to conglomerate, guys. It starts to form the clots and stuff. It starts to do that. So if you pumping your engine in a car and you pumping it at 100 miles an hour, the oil in the system is flowing through the engine and the filters, the fuel injectors and everything. You got your gas line filters and things like that. It's flowing through there constantly, going through the pistons and stuff, guys. It starts to build up. Like that's why you have to get fuel injector cleaner and stuff, because the fuel injectors get clogged. It's the same thing, just like the oil in the car. You got an oil filter and stuff. It goes through, and after a while, that's why you have to get an oil change, because it filters out all that stuff. So if your blood is pumping through, it's the same thing. Pumping through, it starts to build up those clots and that stuff on the filter. You understand what I mean? So you take a professional athlete. You wonder why it's happening a lot with soccer, right? Soccer, they going through, running. Their parts is pumping, the blood is moving through their system at a lot faster rate. So they put more mileage on their system in a shorter amount of time. You understand what I mean? So folks that took the walk, you got people that sit on their couch every day. You got people that may walk every day, walk their dog or something like that. That's just out a little bit, doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So they good. You see what I'm saying? But if you a person that you constantly working out and stuff, same thing, like bodybuilders, you seeing bodybuilders, same thing, right? Bodybuilding and stuff, and you constantly running and pumping your blood through your system, pumping your blood, guys, your life expectancy is gonna go a lot faster. You understand what I mean? Like your system, as far as the blood clotting part of it, that's gonna go a lot quicker. Okay, so that's why you'll see those people. That's why you see the soccer, because they constant action, non-stop running. They blood is pumping. They are in the most awesome shape. That's why I say they're the top athletes in the world. They running. Okay, and they're having these massive like heart attacks and strokes and things. They collapsing, guys, because they are pumping their blood, they running their body, their fuel system is going through at a high rate, and it's causing this stuff to go on. With other people, regular everyday Joes, their blood is not pumping as fast and as long through their system as many times. So their filtration system is not getting clogged like that. Their blood is not building up that conglomeration. I don't know if that's the term for it, but it's not building like that as it would in somebody that's an athlete. Okay, so those people, their blood's gonna have to run through their system over a longer amount of time. So more years. You see what I'm saying? More months rather than it would take somebody that's a professional athlete that got the particular lot that's gonna cause that. Do you understand what I mean? So you take a look at that too. They talk about the swimmer. I might post that up. The swimmer, she had passed out under the pool, in the pool. You see what I'm saying? Same thing. When you go underwater and stuff, what happens? You get that clogging up, the ears popping and stuff once you go to a certain depth. Okay, you start dealing with altitude and pressurized systems, right? Putting pressure on the brain, putting pressure in your system. Okay, that can cause the same type of simulation almost as being in an airplane, right? You be in an airplane and you go to a certain depth, altitude, and boom, your ears pop, and they tell you chew gum and everything. It's the same thing, okay? It's the same thing. You go underwater, boom, certain depth, boom, ears popping and stuff, and all of a sudden you got these problems going on, okay? So that's possibly why that happened with the swimmer. And it's been other swimmers that have had this happen, guys. This stuff is just not being put out there like that. Like, you're not going to get this news.
Anita Alvarez.
As a four-time Olympic medalist, artistic swimmer Anita Alvarez isn't just good at holding her breath. She can do it whilst performing a mix of swimming, dance and gymnastics underwater.
Really good on the leg extension.
But at the end of her solo performance at the World Championships in Budapest,
Well, a very determined swim there.
audience applause turned to anguish as something went wrong. Anita fainted and sank to the bottom of the pool. First to react was coach Andrea Fuentes. A former Olympian herself, she dived in, lifting the unconscious swimmer to the surface.
I
put her on her side and opened her mouth, Andrea says, so she could expel the water. I massaged her jaw to make her relax and cooled out Anita. Breathe, breathe.
We hope she's going to be okay.
Andrea says she jumped in as no lifeguards had reacted.
Like, they giving it to you in this way, man, is kind of like, oh, there's nothing to be worried about. But they lying and keeping it under wraps. Why? Because they want everybody to go ahead and do it. No hesitancy, right? So what I wanted to point out, so they came up with T is called hepatitis, right? T. Right, we've been drinking tea for I don't know how many ages. Dogs causing it, right? And strawberries. Okay, so you're drinking tea or you eat strawberries, you got a dog, it's a good chance that you can have a problem. Now, another thing with the dogs, guys, I know a couple of people that have dogs that took the walk. Like, not the dog took the walk, but the people took the walk, the owner, and their dogs just mysteriously died. Sudden dog death syndrome. I'm not kidding, guys. This is real business. This stuff is happening, and I'm telling you, the occurrence of this stuff is gonna start accruing a lot quicker. Okay, as this stuff is this stuff is in people's systems, and that's what they even said. It was a study that was put out in the UK. I don't know if you saw it. I might have put it up before, and they were saying that 5 months after the walk or whatever, people were experiencing like more likely to experience side effects. So you might have got by that first 3 months and like, I'm good, and 4-5 months you might be, I'm good, but the likelihood of having something happen early on was slimmer than it is later on. So you might have skated past the first couple of months and been good, but chance of you continuing to be good after the 5th and 6th month is slim. Okay, so that's something that people gotta look out for. Now, here we are, 2022. summer of 2022. They canceling flights again at an alarming rate. I remember I told one of my friends last year, I was like, hey, check out how they canceling the flights and everything. This is because the pilots is having the issues and stuff. They've never canceled flights like this before. People should be able to think for themselves, but people are freaking stupid. I hate to tell y'all. But another thing, like, and I just saw this, I'm like, man, they are putting they are literally putting the sheep to bed. They're putting the sheep to bed. Now, I say they putting them to bed, man. They are filling them up with so many lies. It's like they can't even they can't even come up to breathe. They got so many lies that they swimming through, man. They can't even breathe. And they keeping their mind preoccupied with the narrative that they're pushing. So they don't believe stuff that come from me and you, even though we've been 100% right the whole time. We still been 100%. God, we batting well over 400. we batting well over 400. But people don't want to see the truth, man. That's on them. That's on them. So another thing that was disturbing, man. I said, what? Man, this stuff just make you say, what? This is insane, the stuff they be saying. So now they saying flight risk. Summer holidays, warnings as flight delays increase, risk of silent killers. They saying if your flight get delayed, that could possibly cause you to have a heart attack. This is how man, look, man. Hey, I've been angry. Like, I've been angry before about stuff, but I don't think I've been angry enough to have a heart attack. Okay? And I think if my flight got canceled, I'll get over it. Like, I'm not going to freaking pass out. But they're saying now that people are having people having heart attacks because their flights got canceled. Do you see the games? Do you see the games that they playing with these folks? So if you a sheeple and you have no knowledge, like all this stuff, like it makes sense to us guys. We talk, so we know what's up. But there are people that have no clue about the stuff that we talk about, all the information we know, okay, to support everything that we've ever said. It's people that know nothing about it. So they get this information that comes up, boom, flight risk, summer holidays, warning, flights delays, increased risk of silent killers. Dang, babe, they saying that if our flight get canceled, we might have a heart attack. And these folks is eating it up. They eating it up, okay? They're not questioning it. They're not looking at it like, this sounds a little fishy. And they ain't saying nothing about the drinking tea all of a sudden and strawberries and dogs is causing these problems. You see what I'm saying? So this just puts things in perspective, guys, of how they're going to continue to do this. And what I'm trying to tell you early on is because there are going to be other things that's going to occur. There's going to be other things that are going to occur. Like I said, vaccinates. It's a lot of vaccinates going on. Okay, it's not going to be reported like that. It's just, oh, people had an accident. But it's a accident. Okay, people at the wheel and all of a sudden, boom, they have a heart attack, whatever, boom, crash. They're going to say, oh, they had a crash. It's not going to come up as, oh, it's a accident. Okay, but there's going to be other things that occur that they're going to blame on something else. Okay, so like it's I think I saw something as well. Like they was talking about it being hot. They was trying to say, oh, a lot of people are dying because it's hot outside. They were trying to say that too. Like, there's all kind of things right now that they're finding to try to push off on why these things are occurring. Now, I remember I talked to you in the last video about the world population counter that they run and how it was really starting to slow down as far as the amount of births, and it was picking up as far as the deaths. And so now that we were starting to become more of like on a stabilized level, no growth, we getting there. That's what they want to do. And now, as the months go on and the years go on and stuff, now they coming up with the stuff, the reason why people are dying. The deaths are going to start picking up. Okay, the deaths, guys. Once this winter come around, I'm telling you guys, I don't know about y'all, but I still don't know too many people that took the walk that have recovered from the illness they had this previous winter. Do you understand what I'm saying? These folks are still coughing. They still coughing. Every conversation, they still coughing. Y'all ain't heard me on her. I ain't doing all that. And I've been talking to y'all for how long? How many conversations? I done been on. Think about it, I done been on here with y'all on several occasions, man. Just talking. You know what I'm saying? And you don't hear me doing that. You ain't hear me doing that. In fact, I just saw a clip from Dr. Malone, man, and that should be worldwide news. Dr. Malone, and I can't play it because you know how they do, but it should be reported, man, that he's coming out. He's saying, like, it is clearly evident at this point that people that have taken the walk, they are leaving her at an alarming rate, and it's not being reported. These people are in danger. They putting it out there. They putting it out there, and the only people that's telling you otherwise is people that don't have no medical license or degree, or they somehow established with the establishment, okay, and they're being used for whatever, for their own personal gain, as far as finances and things like that. They using that to keep them quiet and to have them push these lies. So, anywho, like I was saying, guys, they got all these folks right now not knowing nothing about nothing. And anybody that puts the information out there is misinformation, okay? And they're not allowing these people to come out and tell what's going on about what's happening to them, so nobody knows nothing. And then they're going to continue to spew out this information about, oh, it's because the oak tree is too close to your house and that caused you to get cancer. Oh, it's because the rain clouds came in from the east instead of the west this time, that's causing a lot of people to have heart attacks. Like, and people are eating it up, man. They're just eating it up. It is ridiculous, the stuff that's going on. Keep your eyes peeled, man, for this type of stuff. And I've showed you, I told you, they got the stuff on the buses now talking about, oh, little kids have strokes and stuff too. When they do that? Where they do that at? When the kids start having strokes and heart attacks like this, okay, you're going to start seeing a lot of that, man, though, because it's starting to settle in. Like the videos that I've been showing you recently, it showed them little things that they was pulling out of people. And these coroners and stuff are finding in people. Those things take time to build in people's systems. That's why I keep telling you, it takes time to build. We're dealing with time release. Like everything that we deal with and talk about is on time release. Okay, we talk about the Marburg. We talk about that in the nano particles. That's on a time release. Okay, the other different elements that you'll have is on a time release. Okay, the conglomeration of the blood and everything, and building those clotting things and everything, that's on a time schedule. It has to take time to manifest throughout the body. Just like they said, when you take the walk, oh, it was sitting in one part of your body and it wouldn't go nowhere. And that was a lie, but it takes time to circumvent your system and go throughout the whole body, right? On top of the fact that the stuff that they put in you, or whatever, it takes time to break down your immune system. So all of this stuff is on a time clock. See what I'm saying? It's on a time clock. And with this time clock, it keeps ticking. It's not going to stop ticking. The point, what's going to happen is, guys, after it gets to a certain point, which I think we getting really close to that time, when I say folks is going to start dropping, I'm talking about, man, these ambulances are not going to stop running. They're going to be running around the clock. You understand what I mean? Around the clock. I know y'all watching. Celebrities, NFL guys, they are dropping. These folks are dropping, guys. They are dropping at an alarming rate. I'm talking about every day you see celebrities that's in their 30s, 20s, whatever, they dying. Okay? And nobody knows what's happening. Sudden adult death syndrome is what they labeling it. So they got a new term. They came up with a whole new term. And then they telling you, oh, you have flights, you get flights canceled, this could cause you to have a heart attack and stuff. Then you got athletes that's dying, 769 athletes that have cardiac arrest in less than a year. But nobody thinks nothing of it. And we just walking around acting like nothing going on, and the news ain't reporting shit.
Ava, I think you mentioned just on Twitter in the last day or two, this whole idea of having to get a medical intervention when you don't have a medical reason to get it. And you happened to notice some poor guy fell off a cliff on the Appalachian Trail, a tourist in America. And his mother would like to go to America and retrieve his body, but she's unable to.
Right. Yeah, this was a story of a 23-year-old Dutch hiker who was walking around the Appalachian Trail in America, and he fell off a cliff for, again, unknown reasons. But what is known is that his mother wants to go to the United States to come and bring her son's body home, and she is not allowed to go and do that because she doesn't have the vaccine. So she can go to pick up her son for this reason. And as you've mentioned, there are so many other things that people have been prohibited from doing because they didn't want to take a vaccine that they didn't need. So this is just, again, a story that's absolutely heartbreaking, and not just heartbreaking, quite frankly, it's evil.
Yeah, I think evil is the right word for this. I don't think there's a precedent. There's certainly no precedent on this scale for forcing hundreds of millions of people to have a vaccine they don't need. And certainly there's an element of hypocrisy too. This poor woman can't recover her son's body, while on the southern border of the United States, just as on the southern border of the United Kingdom, any number of unjabbed illegal immigrants can just walk into the country. So there are double standards here. But what I don't, get, this was a headline in Euro Weekly. Doctors baffled by increase in sudden adult death syndrome. I mean, are they that stupid, or are they just feel, oh, we can't possibly connect all these dead young and middle-aged people over here with all these mass vaccinations over there? What they must know, surely.
Yes, I don't think that they're stupid. I think that they think we are stupid. And I mean, they're kind of right. I mean, sudden adult death syndrome, really? This is basically the new one. We had a couple of months ago, right, when it was Christmas, they said, oh, there are a lot of people dying from heart attacks, and it might be because of the Christmas trees in your house. I've seen headlines where they said, oh, it's climate change that now causes all of these heart attacks. I've seen post-pandemic stress disorder is causing heart attacks. These people are laughing at us. They think that we're stupid. And, the thing is I understand that a lot of people have trouble saying these things because, as you said, they will come after you when you try and uncover the truth. And also, it's very hard to speak out about the truth and say, hey, maybe we should call a spade here, and 2 + 2 is 4. And the only thing that changed in the past couple of months is the fact that everyone took this. You can't say that because there are no real studies for these correlations. We just have suddenly all of these extra deaths, and we have no idea why, but we do know that it's not that's the one thing that they can tell you for sure. And I think there are plenty of reasons, understandable reasons, as to why they're trying to hide this truth from us.
Yeah, I'm absolutely amazed by this, because you have to have a certain heartlessness. Normally with news, the problem with it is that it's overly sentimental. If you remember a couple of years ago when Angela Merkel admitted all those migrants into Germany, there was a dead baby who washed up on the Mediterranean shores, and that baby became the most famous baby in the world and became the image of what was going on, and was the rationale for why Angela Merkel and everybody else had to let all these migrants in. Here we have this poor girl in Dublin. She's perfectly fit, she's perfectly healthy, she runs, she goes to the gym, and she's dead. And it's like we all agree we're not going to ask questions about why she's dead.
Exactly. It's horrible, and it really shows, once again, they don't really care about us. All of these talks about the deaths that we had to prevent with COVID, and that's why it was so necessary that you would take... Well, they never talk about how many deaths were caused by the lockdown in and of itself. So it's very clear that these people really don't care about us whatsoever. And there are too many powerful institutions and stakeholders involved here that all have huge interests in us not knowing what the side effects are of this and what the dangerous consequences of these are and will be in the future. Obviously, our governments have forced this on us. You were basically a second-class citizen if you didn't take it. And, well, I mean, if it turns out that these governments have been giving citizens something that is forcing citizens to take something that is dangerous for their health, can you imagine the uproar that would cause? And, well, for them also, they would be losing power if that comes out. Big Pharma, it's very clear. The money that's involved in this is unfathomable. They want us to keep on taking these shots. Obviously, this is something they can make tremendous amounts of money from in the next couple of years to come. So we should know that this is dangerous for us. And even apart from the government and big pharma, just ordinary people, think about how many people have taken this and how hard it must be mentally to grasp the idea that you might have taken something that is bad for you and that could cause you all sorts of health problems in the future. And not just you, also your children. So the cognitive dissonance there is huge, and understandably so.
Yeah, I think a lot of people can't even wrap there are people, because if you can just go to sleep and not wake up in the morning, that's one of those thoughts that's basically too terrifying for a lot of people. Are you surprised at the way Western governments are still talking about more? And in the US, for example, they're talking about a new that you won't have to take it every 3-6 months, it'll just be every year. But basically, their plan is that we should be getting these now and forever.
Yes. No, I'm not surprised anymore. After these past 2 years, I've been properly disillusioned, and I don't think that the government is my friend anymore. I'm baffled by the fact that a lot of people still think that the government is their friend. But of course, the governments want us to take this vaccine because, well, one of the many reasons, for example, is this digital ID that we've been talking about. If everyone has it, then everyone has a digital passport. And that gives huge opportunities for our governments to control us and to track us everywhere we go. So the benefits for them are huge. And, well, if you just hide the truth from people, they're not going to revolt against you anyway. So I don't see why they wouldn't want us to take more. It's just endless wins for them unless we wake up and say, well, you're not coming anywhere near my arm.
Yeah, you're not coming anywhere near my arm. You say you have no reason to get it, Ava. I don't think anybody under 50, 55, 62, whatever, should actually be contemplating this thing. The alleged benefit, with each passing month, the alleged benefits diminish further and further. And the risks of something really, the idea that you can have a thing called sudden adult death syndrome and people take that term seriously. We are the fools of human history. That is what's happening. So, as you say, keep your arm covered up and away from these guys, Ava. Great to see you, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you very much.
That should be alarming. That should be alarming. But the point is, guys, that you see these celebrities and stuff that's being reported, that's because these people are known figures and they have to be reported. Like, you can't go without announcing Barbara Streisand being, or Tom Hanks or somebody, or Tom Cruise, or, and some of these people ain't died. But if one of them are to drop, like a Forrest Whitaker or something, people be like, oh, what happened to him? Oh, Forrest Whitaker is dead? Well, like, you need to know about that. So you report it. But people like you and me, like your family members, friends, and loved ones, who's getting an autopsy? Who's pulling the clots out? You see what I'm saying? Who's going to actually do that work? Who's got money to do that work? Okay? And then the insurance claims and stuff tied in with that, it makes a complete mess. All right? This is why they didn't want to release the data for, 55 years or whatever. Because by then, most of the folks would have been already gone. Like, for the most part, man, I don't see anybody that took the walk being good for the next 5-10 years. Now, 10 years is a stretch. That's a stretch. I'm talking about if you on blood thinners and you get the best herbal supplements and everything. That's a stretch. So you take that into consideration, man, and you say, well, dang, how long are we talking about here? How long are we talking about? I think that's the type of stuff we need to be finding out. We need to be getting that kind of information. I know y'all just heard about Dr. Carrie Majay. She's one of the ones on the front lines dealing with stuff like they going after the doctors, guys. Carrie Majay, just her plane went down. Mysteriously then went down, right? She's in surgery and stuff now, ICU. And then you had the other doctor, Simone Gold, just got put in jail, right? So we got a lot of stuff going on with the doctors that's actually doing the work and finding the stuff. They knocking them off and putting them, getting them out the way. There was another doctor that was talking about the stuff, and she got assassinated. She got taken out, man. They took her out. This was right around when the stuff first started. So they going after folks, man. They going after folks and taking people out, man, and they trying to keep this stuff silent however they can, however they need to. All right, but our prayers go out to Dr. Carrie Mache, man. I definitely appreciate everything she's been doing for the movement, man, helping. Shoot, I've got a lot of information from her. Dr. Simone Gold as well, man. Our prayers, thoughts go out to her. You know, these are people that are on the back line, man, and some on the front line that's doing stuff, man, that's trying to help this situation. So I didn't want to do much on this video, guys. I just really want to put that information out there because I felt that stuff was very, very important, that it's being looked over, and we not going to let y'all slide. Like, you're not finna get this off on us. Like, you're not getting this off on, like, no, we're not finna go to sleep to the idea, oh, that this is just normal. This stuff is normal. Like, we past that. Like, y'all dealing with the wrong ones, okay? You could talk to the sheep about that and try to force them to believe that, oh, this is what killed you. You see what I'm saying? That's why I be telling y'all, man, this didn't just start happening. What I always want to remind y'all, reiterate to y'all, that this stuff did not just start happening. When I say this stuff, I mean the stuff about certain types of deaths that happen, okay? Certain type of cancers and different ailments that people experience. And then they give you some kind of scapegoat for why it happened. I'm telling you, and I've been telling you from day one, is that they've been doing stuff to you that's been messing you up. Okay, if you got any kind of ailment or disease, or you got a loved one that passed away from something you don't know what the heck, more than likely it's something that they gave them, whether it was through a schedule or whether it's through food or whether it's through the chemtrailing or whatever. They are directly responsible for this, for the deaths of all of our loved ones. And I really believe, and I'm gonna say this, guys, I believe, like I told y'all before, that the chemtrails that they drop on us on a regular basis, man, I believe that directly affects our life expectancy. Okay.
Alexa, what is a chemtrail?
Chemtrail. Trails left by aircraft are actually chemical or biological agents deliberately sprayed at high altitudes for a purpose undisclosed to the general public in clandestine programs directed by government officials.
I believe that it lowers everybody's life expectancy because you breathe in these toxins and things for a certain amount of decades or whatnot, and it deteriorates your body from the inside out for however long until you get to the point where your life expectancy is right at 70 years. And now it gets to the point where the average is going down to like 50, okay? Because they dumping stuff on you to make sure that we keep people dying at a certain amount of time. Whether that be through putting certain things in the water and stuff. It's like, man, come on. I'm trying to tell y'all, man, what it is, man. Like, we are basically being herded like cattle. We being treated like animals, and only a few of us are smart enough to figure this thing out. But yeah, that's what they doing, man. That's what they doing. And the fact that nobody's questioning it and nobody's investigating like that just lets you know who's in on the ball game, right? So, anywho, guys, I just wanted to put that out there. A lot of information just went over with y'all just to kind of put some things on the forefront, man. Do your own digging, do your own research. But hey, that's my part. That's my perspective. You know, I believe that wholeheartedly. That this stuff is true. Okay, whether you see it or not, that's up to you. You know, and I always tell people, hey, do your own research, man. Do your own research. Come to your own truths. We all got to come to truth, but this is a truth community. That's what we should be doing. Everybody should be digging, man, and putting in. In fact, I want to thank everybody that has been putting in information through the Telegram. those that have donated, man, I really appreciate you guys looking out, man. Sometimes y'all send kind messages and things like that and motivate me and the others to keep it going, keep pushing and doing stuff, man, because we waking others up and helping y'all to reach others and also help you guys as well on this journey. And that's what I aim to do. You know what I'm saying? So if I've helped you in any kind of way, man, I appreciate if you do me that favor. Just share the information. Okay, donating is nice. I appreciate that anytime. Okay, but also make sure y'all sharing the information, man. Get this out there. The more people we got woke, man, the less likely we are to deal with some of this stuff that they pushing. Okay, and then we can have more people that's in the know. They need a real, reliable news source, man. If we got to be it, then we got to be it. If I got to bring the news and you got to deliver the news, like, hey, I'm the newspaper, you the newspaper delivery, hey, drop it off on their front door. Show them that. Like, they need to see that. Dang, they talking about if you got to cancel flight, you might have a heart attack. What kind of stupid stuff is that? Who would be stupid enough to believe that crap? Then they talking about all this other stuff. Oh, heart attacks are up 80%. Why are heart attacks up 80%? Why are they talking about this stuff? This is the kind of conversations you need to break in with your folks, man. So I try to give y'all stuff that is really, like, relevant to the times, and you can really do something with as far as, you know, open up people's eyes. So anyway, y'all, I appreciate everybody that's been helping, support, and donating, everything else like that, man. Y'all be safe. I'll catch you on the next video. Also, I should be live on the other channel like next week. Yeah, so I got a couple more days off. So I will catch you guys there as well. Y'all be safe. Later.
There are pockets of resistance all around the planet. We've been fighting a long time. If you're listening to this, you are not alone. You are the resistance.